Yes. Oh, hey, everyone. This is while our kids are sleeping, and thank goodness they are sleeping.
Yes, thank goodness.
Yes, amen. Praise the Lord. We've had a couple crazy events happen this past week. We had one major one that is just...
It was a fiasco.
Thank you. Great word. Great word. Great word. We'll definitely discuss it in this episode. We had a couple ideas, but when this happened, I was like, okay, we got to talk about this.
Yeah. Got to talk about it while it's fresh on our minds.
Yes. It was one of those weeks that I decided I'm going to throw on my beach shirt and my swim trunks. I'm literally wearing my swim trunks right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
But so...
I did put on real clothes.
You did. I'm proud of you.
I don't know. Is there any other kind of clothes you can wear?
Yeah, well, that's true. First and foremost, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We are excited. We got a handful of episodes already on right now. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get that notification. It helps you know when we do post stuff. Every Monday at 7 a.m. we have a new episode come out. But on Instagram and Facebook, we have stuff throughout the week. We usually
do little teasers and clips on Instagram and Facebook, and kind of gives you a little taste of what's come in for the next episode, get you excited for the next episode.
Yeah. And then we have done the last couple weeks our favorite 5. Let everyone kind of vote and see what they think. I have not done so well.
I feel like you've done okay.
I think last episode, I did pretty well with the Batman stuff, but I don't know. We'll see. We do film these a little bit ahead of time. Thank goodness, because of the kind of week we had.
We would be way behind.
We'd be way behind. So we'll go right into it. So, y'all ready for this?
This happened on Monday.
This happened on Monday, last Monday, because we're recording today on Monday night.
Yeah.
So we were both out. I was working. Erin was working. We ended up somehow coming home at the same time. I can't remember why.
I can't remember why either.
Doesn't matter. I was excited. I had Zaxby's ready for the boys. Captain called us. Actually, no, he texted
before we left. He told us to be careful and don't forget my fries.
Yeah.
And then he had the sitter also text me.
Yeah.
And remind me that I need to bring him home some fries.
Yeah, Captain loves him some fries, but excuse me. So we came home, walked through the door, and it smelled really clean. And
I couldn't figure out what it was.
Our sweet, amazing babysitter Gina was like, "Oh my gosh, please don't fire me," which we would never do that, Gina. So, she literally turned around for 2 seconds, and the boys ran into the laundry room. Now, I will say this. Our boys like to hang out in our pantry all the time.
And we let them because there's nothing really they can get into other than some chips and paper towels.
And if they make a mess, it's easy to clean. Yeah. Nobody, no harm, no foul or anything like that. So, so they ran into the laundry room. At that day, we had a rental, so all their car seats were in there. So...
Yeah, I had literally that's why I had spent all day. I just put my car in the shop to get a dent fixed, and it took till 5 o'clock to get a car for me that they were supposed to already have that would accommodate 3 car seats. And so I had to be at my mom's all day long. Andrew had to come pick me up, bring me home.
That's why.
Yeah, until the car rental would be ready, which it wasn't going to be ready till 6. So then my mom had to come pick me up, take me over there, and do all that. But anyways, so because I was taking my car to get in the shop, I had put all the car seats in the laundry room, which gave Captain a step up to get onto the top of the wash machine and grab the spray and wash that we usually have up on his shelf. But I had just sprayed some clothes that had like a grease stain or something and threw it in the wash, and I was running out the house, so I left it on top of the dryer. Captain used one of the car seats to give him a lift and get to the spray and wash. and used it like you would use a water gun.
Yep.
And sprayed the other two.
Well, we're saying Captain did it only because
he was dry.
He was dry, and there was no evidence of him getting shot at all. And he's the big brother, But
Gina caught them with Lion having the spray and wash bottle. Yeah. But Lion was drenched.
Saint's hair's drenched. And so I just said, all right, well, we're gonna get bath time. It's gonna be now.
Before dinner. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Bath time will be before dinner, and they're not getting spaghetti because they eat it like crazy people. And make messes everywhere. And so that was kind of a relief too. Anyways.
So I kept Saint down here. He's still small enough I can bathe him in the sink. And I had his body wash and hair wash and all that down here. I just grabbed some towels and put him in the sink and was bathing him down here, and Andrew took the other two upstairs.
I took them upstairs. I kind of got a little worried. I was like, I might need to kind of like really wash his face because it started seeing red spots. Yeah. His eyes were a little red, and you could tell they were sensitive, and I was like, oh no, he got this
Lion
stuff.
was really, his face was swollen and red, and he was crying. He was really upset. So you ran him upstairs to immediately start rinsing out his face. And while I was bathing Saint, I was also had the pediatrician on speakerphone talking to the nurse on what we need to do because it's chemicals. There's not bleach or anything in spray and wash. And for those of you who don't know who spray and wash
apparently no one knows what spray and wash is.
Yeah, I had to explain it to the nurses, to the doctors.
It was crazy. It was like I told people at work about it, and like one person knew what it was. The rest I had to explain, like, hey, it's a stain remover. I was like, what do these people use for stain removers?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are they?
I think like Oxy or something makes some.
That's true, Oxy.
But it's equivalent to Oxy, but it's it's just a spray. I mean, it's spray and wash. You just spray it on your stains, and it's supposed to help remove all the like grime and grease
the oils and the oil.
Yeah.
Like that. So
spot wash. That's a good also.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever.
So Erin was downstairs. She was taking care of Saint. I was upstairs taking care of the Reds. And I was like, all right, Lion, you're not going to be happy with me. I was like, I have to wash your eyes out. And I was like, Lion, again, is our little more sensitive guy. He
has eczema really, really bad, and it flares up quite often. So his skin is super sensitive. And Andrew was already upstairs getting ready to start washing his eyes out when the nurse told me you need to wash their eyes out for 15 minutes. And I mean, I'm talking a 1 and a 3-year-old washing their eyes out for 15 minutes is a chore, and it's not fun. So I hollered up to Andrew upstairs, wash his eyes out for 15 minutes, even if you have to take breaks in between. Yeah. And so what was your experience like?
You want to talk about like an experience. So I had Lion on the left side of the tub. Captain was on the right side, which is their normal spots.
The right side is where the actual spigot is
coming down. Yeah. So Captain was near that. And so I was like, okay, I have to rinse his eyes out. So I'm switching them around. I'm getting Lion ready. Lion is fighting me like crazy. He doesn't understand what's going on.
You had really a cup, upset. Thank goodness.
I had a cup that we used to rinse their, hair and stuff. But Captain is sitting here going, Daddy, you're hurting him. So I have my 5-year-old yelling at me, telling me to back off. You're hurting my brother, basically. And then I have Lion screaming. And so, it wasn't probably my best dad moment. So
he waterboarded our son.
I did not waterboard, but
I could hear the screaming.
Yeah, there was a lot of screaming. Captain was very concerned that his brother was not going to be alive after this. And so I was just like, I got to do it. I mean, it's just like, I have to do it, or his skin especially is going to just like, who knows what could happen.
And I feel like he had the most spray and wash on him. So we were concerned about his eyes.
I almost had to wash his hair twice. Like I let it sit there and soak. It was just like, it was all in it. But so I had them both yelling, screaming at me. I mean, like Captain was livid at me. He was yelling at me. He was, telling me to stop, Dada, stop. You're hurting him. I have Lion just saying, no. And then I'm like hearing downstairs. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And it's just a bunch of chaos.
Saint took it a lot better. Honestly, Saint didn't even really seem upset about anything. And so I put him in the sink. I rinsed his eyes out as much as I could. Nobody likes having their eyes rinsed out, especially babies. And so he also wasn't great about it, but I also didn't have to like hold him down.
No.
We had one of those spigots on our kitchen sink that it retracts, it comes out, so you can
and stuff like
move
that,
it.
yeah.
So I was washing him, and I got him done, and then I helped Andrew get the boys ready, and
well, yeah, I mean, Saint seemed like there's nothing wrong with Saint.
yeah,
I mean,
he ate
like
dinner, everything was fine.
They're just they're, hey, we had bath early, this is fun, this is different. They weren't the best behaved youngins. I was also not the best behaved dada, so I was just upset with them. I was trying to figure out, basically I was scared. I was like, holy macaroni, what's going to happen to my...
You have two different parents in every
Yes.
couple almost. You have the calm, more observant parent, and you have the parent that goes immediate into panic mode.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Andrew goes into panic mode.
I do.
No matter what happens, he immediately thinks the worst thing possible is going to happen. It's like worst case scenario all the time. So he does go into like panic mode,
Yeah.
survival mode immediately.
Yeah.
And I'm more, let's see what happens.
Well, and you're more of like, okay,
I'm more
let's
tuned
think
to
through
what
this.
yeah.
I'm more of, all right, he's going to die.
Yeah.
I mean,
you really are.
I literally was like, they're going to be blind
He's
for
like,
the
they're
rest
gonna
of their
be
life.
blind.
What am I going to do? What are we going to do?
And I feel like as a
but-
mom, you have a more, this like stronger connection with your kids. You have this instinct, this gut instinct that lets you know whether something is detrimental or not. Like I know when something terrible, like when Lion was super sick when he was young, I knew in my gut something was not right. He needs to go to the doctor and he needs to go to the hospital. Something's not right, to the level that it was, you just had that like gut wrenching feeling that something bad's going to happen. And I didn't have that. I knew that, okay, they're not feeling great. We just need to.
Well, and you called the doctor.
Yeah.
The doctor said, hey, just do what you're doing. Everything should be fine. If it's not that great, in the morning, come in, here's poison control's number. And they would probably say the exact same thing. And so you kind of were like, okay, all's good. But I will say, minus the boys, I'm a pretty chilled at panic, though. Moments. So, like, do you want me to bring them up a moment?
No, I get what you're saying. Besides things that happen with the boys, you don't panic as hard.
Yes.
Mostly.
Garage door meeting.
Okay. Anyways,
Subaru.
back to
Yeah. Now
the
she wants to change
chemicals
the
in the
subject.
eyes.
So, the boys, chemicals in their eyes. We think we got them good.
We put them to bed.
We finally get them down. It was a little bit later night. They usually go down around 7:30 and they'll sleep by 8. Our earlier
Saint's usually asleep by 6:30.
6:30, a little like 11:30 midnight comes, and all of a sudden we hear the most terrible screams by Saint.
Yeah, he was not happy.
At first we're like, okay, he's just not happy. He wants to sleep with us or something like that.
But we didn't let him wait because we knew what had gone on earlier that night.
Yeah, it was a little different.
Usually if he cries a little bit, we'll let him kind of feel it out for 2 or 3 minutes.
He'll cry for like a minute and fall back asleep.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the case. So I walk in and I grab our sweet Saint, and his eyes are swollen. They're swollen shut. He could not open them. And then again, my crazy dad, senses or whatever you want to call them go off, and I'm like, my kid's gonna be blind.
Yeah, I walked upstairs and he was in the closet like, Erin, I don't know, he's gonna be blind, what are we gonna do? Like, I don't know what to do.
I don't know why I was in the closet.
I don't know.
Oh,
it was
no.
because he was crying and you were trying to keep him away from the boys.
In our master bedroom closet, it's like the opposite side of the whole house.
Yeah.
So it's probably why. But yeah, I was panicking. I was freaking out. Aaron walks up. She tries to open his eyes. He just starts screaming again. He's freaking out. I'm sitting here like, what are we going to do? Oh my gosh, our 1-year-old. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
So I grabbed a towel and we wrapped him up really tight, like swaddled him, and we brought him back downstairs. And we waterboarded him. No, we brought him downstairs. We technically did. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't do that.
We did not do that.
But we did. I did swaddle him up really tight. And we brought him downstairs, and we ran the water over his eyes several times for 20 minutes.
And I mean, and then most of the time, after each time, he calmed down a lot more.
Mm-hmm. And I gave him Tylenol too, just to kind of help whatever pain was, if he was feeling pain. And because we couldn't really see his right eye, looked like it was the one that really was giving him trouble. The left eye didn't look so bad. And he didn't complain as much when I was rinsing out his left eye, but the right eye, he was just not happy about that. But we eventually got him back to sleep. I put him in the bed with me, and I was like, let's just see what happens in the morning. We've done all we can do tonight, and we just need to wait for the morning.
Yeah, we woke up and his eyes were not as swollen.
He did open them.
He did open them, but it was like oh my gosh, this is so painful opening. Yeah. Like his eyes were barely open. I mean, he was running. Now it's funny. He was running in the walls.
Yeah.
I was still like, you got to be. Oh my gosh, I was scared. Aaron I swore up and down I saw you laughing one time.
I was not laughing.
You laughing at your child hitting the wall.
I was not laughing. Listen, he got up and he wanted to get out of the bed. He wanted to go play with his brothers. So he just like runs right in there. And anyways, the point is,
I'm going to tell him when he understands.
He did open his eyes.
Your mommy laughed at you.
Gosh,
anyways,
don't make me go there.
Anyways,
so I wrapped him up again. I brought him back downstairs. I rinsed his eyes out again the next morning. And then I got the boys ready, and I took the older two to the sitters. They went there, and I kept Saint with me, and I waited till 9 o'clock to call the pediatrician because that's when they open. And he said, bring him on in at 11, and we'll get a look at him and make sure there's nothing seriously wrong with his eyes. And let's just say the day started at 11 o'clock.
Started for his appointment started at 11 o'clock. And then they had told you, hey, you know what? The left eye looks fine. Yeah,
he said the left eye looks good. He put some dye in the right eye and shut the lights off and use this blue light to see the dye is supposed to collect into any like abrasion or like cut or any like damage in the eye. It's supposed to show that damage. And he could see something in that right eye, but it was really hard because Saint was not cooperating. Any light hurt his eyes. So he basically said, you need to go see the ophthalmologist at AU. They'll be able to get a better look. They have more tools and everything to get a better look at his eye. And I was waiting in there, and they said we're at lunch. We'll have someone call her when we get back from lunch and tell her what time she can bring him in. And so I leave, and I go to pick up the 2 reds. And while I'm on the way there, the lady calls me and says, if you can get here before 3, you can come straight into the clinic on the 2nd floor of the hospital. If you can't get here before 3, you'll have to go through the ER. And so I'm like, I'm getting there before 3. There's no way I'm going to sit here all day and go through the ER, because once you're in the ER, you're there all night. And that was not the case. I called my mom, and she was great enough to watch my 2 reds while I did all this. So I picked them up at 1:30. I get them lunch, take them to my mom's. And I get to the hospital at 2:50. And I'm like, okay, great. I can run in there. It'll be fine. There's no parking. There's 0 parking anywhere. The traffic was not great. This is a Tuesday at 3 o'clock. Why is there 10 million people at the hospital? I don't know. But there was no parking. So while I'm trying to find parking, I'm calling the ophthalmology office saying, hey, I'm here, but I can't get parking. And she said, well, it's okay. Just go through the ER. And I'm like,
dadgummit.
Okay, that's fine. It's all good. It'll be fine. It's fine.
And Saint had no shoes.
Saint had no shoes on because when I
one place you don't want to be with no shoes.
When I started this whole day off, I didn't think I was going to end.
Mom, are you?
You know, I'm not the greatest. Okay?
I'm just kidding. Oh, you're the greatest.
Not the greatest.
Just kidding.
But I wasn't expecting.
You were having a rough afternoon.
I was, and I
no shoes. I'm just glad he was going.
I'm just glad he had clothes on.
Exactly.
That weren't pajamas. But anyways, so I finally found parking at a whole nother parking garage, and I go into the pediatric side of the ER. There's several people in here, and I'm like, this is great. The Children's Hospital ER, I'm going to be here like all day. There's no way. But luckily, The registration got me in pretty quick. She actually remembered me from a month ago when I had to bring Captain in because he had gotten a bad stomach bug, and the pediatrician sent him to the hospital to get IV fluids to get rehydrated because he was so dehydrated that he was lethargic. It was not great. But she remembered me, and she's like, I remember you because that name, Captain. And I was like, I know, it's great, right?
I know. My husband's phenomenal. He named him.
I think it was because he's so darn cute and redheaded, and she just remembers his red hair.
Blue eyes.
But anyway, so she gets everything situated, and I got back there pretty quick, considering there was at least 10 other people waiting in that waiting room. They got me back there pretty quick with him. And I guess the good thing about going through the ER is you have a lot of hands. So we went in there, we got in the room, and the attending came in and looked at him. I think the attending and the residents came in, looked at him, and they had to do like a pH on his eye. He was not happy. They were holding him down. And I mean, I thought that we were bad waterboarding him, and they're just like tackling him on the bed. I'm just kidding. They were great.
I'm glad I wasn't there.
Yeah, no, they had to hold him down. I mean, he was not happy about it. And they had to do like a pH on his eye to see, how bad the chemical was in there. And then they had to do another test, kind of like the doctor did. And they decided, okay, there's still chemical in this eye. We're going to have to flush his eye. And I know what you're wondering. How do you flush a 1-year-old's eye for 15 minutes straight? Well, it's not what I was expecting. It was very strange. The whole thing was very strange, but it's like these really thick contacts, and they have a tube coming out of them. It's like the tube when they put an IV in your arm and there's saline coming down or whatever is coming down. So that was attached to the end of this like contact looking thing. It was connected to a bag that would essentially flush out his eyes for 15 minutes straight. And so they had to hold open his eye, put this contact thing in his eye, and then they had to tape the tube to the side of his face to keep him in there. And they had to mummify him basically with swaddles and stuff to keep his hands from coming out. So he's screaming through all this, and I'm just like, I can do nothing. I am useless.
So glad.
Other than holding his hands, and they numbed his eye. They did numb his eye, so he couldn't feel it. He could feel the like irritation of people touching him, but he didn't feel any pain from it.
Yeah.
And luckily, he fell asleep. And I know you're wondering, how does a 1-year-old fall asleep with these things in his eyes? Well, I guess his eyes were numb, so he couldn't like really feel it, but he was exhausted and he fell asleep, and I just sat on the bed with him until they were done with the washing out of his eyes. And when that got done, they took him out, and we dried him off, put his clothes back on him. I know he was soaked. And I held him because I had to wait for the ophthalmology to come down from wherever they're located in the hospital. And he fell asleep on me. He slept for like an hour. So I've been in the ER for 2.5 hours by this point. And finally, the resident intern, whatever it was from ophthalmology, comes down and looks at him and says, also, my attending is going to have to look at him too. And that's the like good and bad thing about going to teaching hospitals is you do get
multiple people looking.
You get multiple people looking, and you also get what my pediatrician likes to say is the cream of the crop. You get some of the best looking at your kids, taking care of your kids. But he came in, he did an examination, and then the attending came in, did the same examination, and it did show a chemical burn on his right eye. It's kind of like, they explained it to me like a cut or an open wound on your eye. And they said the cornea heals really fast, but they said it does hurt to look at light, to open your eyes, and that's where a lot of his irritation was coming from.
That's where I thought he was blind.
Yes, but he wasn't. But the only thing you can really do for that is you can either do eye drops or you can do an ointment. And for a baby, the ointment is a lot easier to do because you can just rub it on their bottom eyelid and they'll blink it into their eye. An eye drop is hit or miss whether you're going to get it, but it's basically just an antibiotic ointment to keep as a preventative measure. It doesn't actually do anything with the healing process, just prevents them from getting an infection with an open wound. But really, you just have to let the cornea heal itself. So after all that, it's 9 o'clock. So I've been in the hospital for 6 hours because I got there at 3. I did not leave till 9. So
yeah.
So I left.
It's a long day.
Yeah. Came
Long
home.
day for you, mama.
I know. But he hung out with us till 10. And then I was like, all right,
Yeah,
Bubba.
he was already, that night, he was already back to himself.
Oh, after the
a
eye
good bit.
flushing,
Yeah.
he was feeling a lot better, but I gave him a little bit more Tylenol just to help with any discomfort that he had, and they set him an appointment for Thursday. That was Tuesday. They said, come in Thursday and we'll do a final checkup on him. And so my mother-in-law was great and watched my reds at the last minute.
Thanks, Mom.
And yes, thanks, Mom, and thanks,
Mom.
Thanks, Moms.
Thanks,
Y'all are great.
Grammy and Grandma.
Grammy and Grandma, y'all are great.
We appreciate you guys.
But she watched him so I could take him for a quick checkup, and it really was quick. It was easy. I had two.
Yeah, his eye was already basically healed up. I mean, it was crazy. And I was like me that next morning.
He's blind.
I'm sitting there freaking out. I'm telling,
He's never going to see again.
I'm telling a bunch of people all this, and I'm like, I was acting so dramatic. I was like, I'm really wrecked about this, and I really was. I was very concerned. My sweet saint, like something's wrong with him, and I knew you were too, but you just handled it differently. And so when by the end of the day, going in, the next day, that was Wednesday. I was just like, how is he this morning? And he's like, oh, he's fine. He woke me up 4 times, just kind of like, oh, he's back to normal.
Yeah.
It was a scary times, and, our family will always be first for us. So,
Yeah, it definitely puts you behind. But it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a crazy week because I spent all my Monday dealing with car issues. So I wasn't able to work on anything video wise, and I had a video that I've been trying to work on for a week that needed to get done, and I just could not get to the point where I could get a good grip on it. And then Tuesday,
and you couldn't focus either.
I had all that going on, and then Tuesday
was
I spent all day
Saint.
with Saint, and then Wednesday I still was.
Well, no, the next day, Wednesday, you had to
I
take
had to take
Lion.
Lion to the doctor.
Yeah, you took Lion to the doctor.
He had an
an
appointment for his eczema and everything that was pre-planned. So I was back at the doctor on Wednesday.
So you had no technically work days. It was just more doctor's visits than anything. So
and then Thursday took Saint to his final eye checkup, and then so I was literally at the hospital or doctor Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then finally
Friday,
on Friday
you took a nap.
I did take a nap. That was great. I didn't take a nap.
You
He's
didn't
kidding.
take a nap. No.
I don't take naps. That's not likely.
We would love to take naps, but
all those nap times that your kids don't participate in, I would take those naps for them.
Yeah.
Happily.
Oh yeah.
I'd participate.
Sometimes I'm napping and I don't even realize it. I'm like, whoa.
He does, yeah, actually.
No,
upstairs
that was a joke.
Earlier when we were in the loft playing with the kids.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
I love my children and I play with them all the time. I don't nap while I'm supposed to be playing with the Iron Man and Captain America with Saint, Captain, and Lion. Anyways. But no, the good thing about it is like, you focus a lot on Drew plus Erin, during the week. That is your main job, know. And thank goodness we have some amazing clients that are, totally get it, because I know you hit up one and you're like, hey, I am so sorry. This is what's going on. And she was so sweet. She was just like, oh, no, them first. Don't worry about us. So,
see, like I was working on a video, and then the couple that I had to reach out to, they actually paid for a 2-week turnaround time. They paid extra for me to get their video to them 2 weeks out after their wedding day, and usually our turnaround time is 8 to 16 weeks because like you see things like this happen.
There's weddings every week, and so we love what we do. We have a unique way of creating and filming and editing these films together. She does a lot of the editing, and it's really funny because sometimes Erin will sit there and she's like editing a video and she's just like, this is just terrible. And I'm watching and I was like, no, this is actually pretty good. And so we're really hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
So when something like this happens, we're like, dadgummit, it kind of puts a bump in that road.
Yeah.
So
and you can't really focus. So I can't work while I've got the boys too, because I need to put my full attention on that video or my full attention on the boys.
Yeah.
I can't really split it and do either of them justice.
Yeah.
It was another one of those videos that I was like, Andrew, please watch this. I feel like it's terrible. What have I done? But it was fine. And I got
it was phenomenal.
I got to the
great.
reception part, and he said, I'm not looking at it again until you finish because you're just going to keep second guessing. I was like, fine.
Yeah.
But I was got to the part where I was going through the dance footage and the first dance footage, and I was listening to watching the clips of the parent dances to pick which ones I wanted to put in the video.
I remember that, yeah.
And they chose a song that I hear a lot as a parent dance song, and it got me thinking, I wonder if Andrew will answer this question if I say it, and if like he's thinking of the songs that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I said, what are the top 4 songs that you hear at almost every wedding as a parent dance song?
Yeah, which they're all great songs, but I remember I said Butterfly Kisses.
Which I don't actually like that song. My mom loves that song. Everybody loves that song, and every time it goes to play, I'm thinking in my head, why? I don't know why. I just don't like it. It's fine. If you love it, that's fine. Totally. I mean, I'm sure half people don't like anything that I listen to, but I just don't like it. But anyways.
You pretty much listen to Sing 2 soundtrack.
Yeah.
You know, Big Hero 6 soundtrack. You know, that's
and Canto.
And Canto, yeah.
Harmony.
But we're not going to talk about Bruno.
Yeah, it's fine.
No.
It's fine.
Sorry, I had to.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Butterfly Kisses, God Bless the Broken Road, which is not necessarily a parent one, but it's a one that couples dance. Gosh, what was the other ones? Mine's
My Wish by Rascal
My
Flatts.
Wish by Rascal Flatts.
My Little Girl by Tim McGraw.
Exactly. And then the Mom and Son dance. I can't think of it now. It's another country song. I said it the other night, but I can't think of it.
I can't think of it.
But yeah.
But yeah, they're great songs.
Yeah.
It's just I hear them at every other wedding, and I know you're thinking Erin just said they're great songs, but she doesn't like Butterfly Kisses. I don't like that song. I don't think it's a great song. But you guys
don't hold back, babe.
You guys think it's a great song, so everybody else should continue to think it's a great song. Ignore my opinion. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
No, yeah, it's funny because there's a bunch of them. You got a lot Florida Georgia Line songs. You got, just a bunch of them we always hear. And so I thought, you kind of came up with it, but I kind of like pushed it. I was like, how fun would it be if we did our favorite 5? And we are going into our favorite 5 segment now. I'm really excited about this one. The 5 songs we love and hope to hear at a wedding.
Yeah.
And so, these are songs that may not even fit a wedding scene, but we've heard them at weddings, and we thought they were awesome.
Or people dance to them, so it gives you, a really good experience.
Yeah, and so, favorite 5 wedding songs that we love and we love hearing at weddings. I'll go first because I'm really excited. I don't know why, but I'm really excited. So, first and foremost, these songs are not always the most appropriate songs either. Just put that out there, but they get the people dancing, and we love it.
If they dance to it, you got to know
exactly
what you're getting yourself into.
Exactly. I will say though, for us as we film, I don't have any line dance songs on here. I don't have any basic just the songs like Play That Funky Music, White Boy. I don't have those only because
You don't have any James Brown songs on there?
No, I don't. Neither do you. But anyways, so those songs are great and actually are phenomenal for the dance floor to get going. But these songs, let's just say, at least 4 of these songs, when they come on, I'm singing the whole time.
Because he heard them in high school, while some of us weren't in high school.
You know what? We're just one day we're gonna settle that. I don't know how, but
you can't settle the facts.
Anyways, we're not going to talk about that. So stupid. Favorite 5. Number 5 for me. There was a couple that we filmed at a wedding, and this song came up, and I thought it was just freaking awesome. I did listen to it back in high school days, and I really enjoyed it. So my number 5 is not a song you would normally see see here at a wedding, but it's Sugar Gone Down by Fall Out Boy. Katie and Alex, they were the wedding that we filmed. They played that song, and I'm telling you, everyone was singing. Everyone was enjoying it. Now, the parents didn't have a clue what was going on, but everyone was like dancing and having a good time.
And they're closer to your age, too, than I am.
Yeah. So, what is up with you with the age thing?
I don't know, because it bothers you, so I feel like I have to just
But you make it sound like I'm 50 years old.
I don't make it sound like you're 50 years old. I don't think Sugar Going Down was around it 50 years ago.
We're moving on. Number 5, Sugar We're Gone Down by Fall Out Boy. Great song if you are getting married and you want to get people all hyped up. That's a good one.
And you're in your late 30s.
Here she goes. Number four. Number 4 might be a little bit of a shocker to you. I'm starting to like country music, but this song, it's always really nice. I think everyone loves it. Everyone dances to it, and I enjoy it. Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton.
That's a good choice. I like that song,
I really like it. Like I said, I'm not a massive country fan, but I like that. I like anything by him. I
like hearing it at a wedding for some reason. It just feels good at a wedding.
Parents, grandparents, you see them all dancing in a song. It's pretty cool.
It feels really good.
Yeah, so that's my number 4. Number 3, I'm going to say Yeah by Usher, Little John, and Ludacris. Once again, a song that I think you could play anywhere. Now, I will say I was going to put Get Low by Little John, but, yeah, I like both equally. Yeah, it's just...
Came to your mind first?
Well, it came to my mind first, and I think a lot of people know the lyrics to that. When a certain chorus comes on, people are all singing it and stuff like that. And it's a lot of fun. I see myself with the camera filming people, and I'm singing into it. Thank goodness people can't hear
you.
Me singing. We take all the audio out. But, yeah, so number 3, Yeah, by Usher, Lil Jon, and Ludacris. So my number 2 is... it's a lot of fun. Let's just say I really enjoy it. It's probably not the best lyrical song, but we filmed a lot of weddings and everyone sings it, and it's usually the song we can put on like a TikTok or Instagram video. But No Hands by Waka Flocka Flame. It's a great song. Really enjoy it. So number 2, and then my number 1, and you already know what it is. It's hands down, in my opinion, the best wedding song. If you have nobody on the dance floor, I personally think you play the song and you're gonna at least have college age to late 30s jumping up and singing it and having a great time. I literally put the camera down for this song because I'm going to be in the midst of it all, and that is Mr. Brightside by the Killers. Hands down, the best wedding song, in my opinion, ever. It's a great song in general, but at a reception, that song, when you hear that like that piano part, that was definitely not it.
No, that wasn't it at
all.
But
when you hear that song, it gets everyone going, and I love it, and I think it's hands down the best wedding song ever, and that's my number 1. So I'll go through them again real quick just to make sure. Sugar We Gone Down by Fall Out Boy, Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton, Yeah by Usher, Little John, Ludacris, No Hands by Waka Flocka Flame, and Mr. Brightside by the Killers. That's a fun bunch of guys right there.
That is a fun bunch of guys.
I
actually have 5, and then I have an honorable mention.
Okay.
So my number 5 is Ride With Me by Nelly.
Okay. All right.
I don't know why, but every time I hear it, everybody knows the words to that song, and everybody starts dancing. And like you said, I see myself with a camera in people's face, in their faces, but focused on their face because they're mouthing the words.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the song.
Yeah.
My number 4 is Gold Digger by Kanye West.
What?
Gold Digger by Kanye.
I know, but that's not at all a good wedding song.
People love that song. They get on the floor and they start dancing.
I literally went to go drink my drink and choked.
Everybody knows the intro to that song. Everybody. I'm not even like a huge Kanye West fan.
You're not. That's why I'm shocked.
That's not even the kind of music I listen to. But every time I hear it at a wedding, I'm like, oh yeah, things about to happen.
Oh gosh.
And they do. We can agree to disagree. What the rest of
your list is.
I'm pretty sure most people won't agree with me. Listen, nobody's going to agree with my choices, and that's fine. These are just songs when I hear.
I think I won this one.
When I'm filming, I know people are going to start dancing.
You started with Nelly and Kanye. I think I got this one.
Silence. Anyways,
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm still choking from.
You're still choking?
Gold Digger.
My number 3 is No Hands by Waka Flocka Flame.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mine in mind, but I mean, you got to think of the list that you have so far.
I know. But see, these are not songs I listen to outside of weddings, but I know them from growing up and hearing them on the radio or, on music videos, whatever. And when I'm at a wedding, these are just songs that I've noticed get people really excited and hyped to dance. So that's why I like them. They're not necessarily songs that I'm going to get on my Spotify and press play. But they're songs when I hear at a wedding, they're
really hyped. They're good songs.
Yeah, they're hyped. So my number 2, you're going to be like, okay, that makes a lot of sense because it really is a song that I do actually listen to on Spotify. It is Into the Mystic by Van Morrison.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not actually a song a lot of people play at weddings, but Katie and Alex, it was played at their wedding. Katie actually did her first dance song with her dad to that song. First dance to that song, whatever. She danced to that song with her dad, and I just love that song. It's one of my favorite songs growing up. My dad listened to Van Morrison, and I just love the song.
Yeah, great, good connection to it. Yeah,
had a good connection to the song, and so when I heard it at their wedding, I was just like, man, that's a good choice.
Yeah, probably
the best father-daughter dance song I've heard, just because I like the song.
Yeah.
And I've heard it played a few more times since then, just in like as a startup song. A lot of DJs like to play some of those classic rock style songs at the beginning while people are eating or mingling before they get into the hype songs. My number 1 is Mr. Brightside by the Killers.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because every single time that song starts, everybody piles into the dance floor.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's like a giant, just like dog pile on the dance floor.
It's like a small mosh pit. It's like a church mosh pit. No one's going to get hurt.
People are screaming this like an anthem. It is like an anthem to their life. And this song ends out the night a lot of the times. People also like to use the Dirty Dance song, I Had the Time of My Life, as an end out song. And that's actually a good honorable mention. That wasn't my honorable mention, but it is a good honorable mention because it gives that good ending feeling when they end a night with that song. But when you end the night with Mr. Brightside, everybody is screaming
100%. There's been weddings that we've done and they did that as the last song to get everyone just hyped and ready, or to finish the night. And it was spot on. I honestly say you could do it multiple times, like the beginning of the night, end of the night. I love it so much, but usually don't play multiple songs. But anyways,
my actual honorable mention was Get Low.
Okay. So we had almost technically the same.
We had,
honorable mention.
I mean, it's one of those songs that you hear and everybody dances to Get Low. Like your grandma dances to that song. I'm telling you, I did a wedding, the wedding that I was trying to get the video ready for 2 weeks, that I told you I had to tell her that I had to push back some because of Saint. Literally, grandma's on the dance floor dancing to Get Low, and all I can think about is Betty White in The Proposal.
It's true.
Dancing around the bonfire to her own like version of Get Low. And her and Sandra Bullock, that's what I think of when I think of that song. But funny. It really does get people going on the dance floor.
Yeah. No, Get Low was a good one.
There's a clean version. There's a not so clean version, but even the clean version isn't that clean.
That's true.
So,
Little John, you need to go to church. No, that's a good favorite 5. I don't know. Gold Digger still. I'm still holding on. Is it really it's just like wasn't expecting that. Anyways, but it's like figure skating all over again. It took me like what? Oh my gosh! But
figure skating was a wonderful answer favorite five. I
literally slapped me in the face. I didn't realize what, whoa.
I think these favorite fives we need to take each other by surprise on these.
I know, yeah.
And I did.
You did. You definitely did.
I just punched you right in the face.
So yeah, well, we're tired.
Yeah.
We've had ourselves last crazy handful of days, but I'm glad we were able to get this done. Definitely vote on which favorite five you think is better.
I think I lost this one.
You might have, but
I think Gold Digger sealed my fate.
Everyone tends to like you more on this podcast. So.
That is not
true. We
want
want more Erin, and I'm like, okay, I'll leave.
That's not true. You're definitely the favorite. It's totally fine.
Anyways.
And I'm pretty sure I sealed my fate with Gold Digger, apparently.
Yeah, well, who knows? You might have a bunch of people go like, yeah, I like Gold Digger too. I'm like,
Is that supposed to be my voice?
No. No. Anyways, so thanks for watching. We greatly appreciate it. We're enjoying doing these. Some of them are just going to be just like this, telling you like what heck of a week we had. And yeah, so we appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, follow us on Instagram, like on Facebook, and also we on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Yeah, so all kinds of platforms. Mm-hmm. But we love doing it, and I think we're having a good time doing it.
Yeah, it's been a good time. I'm excited. I'm really excited about the next podcast. It's going to be interesting.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. We've also thrown some ideas around about our October podcast. We kind of want to do...
Well, so hold tight.
We're not going to tell. Sorry.
I mean, I kind of probably have an idea because of what goes on in October or what holidays in October. There's a hint.
Hint.
But anyways,
so the next podcast is going to be really fun. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I think it's going to be pretty fun. A couple people did ask for some recommendations on books, and I keep forgetting to do that on these podcasts because we haven't really been talking about my reading habit slash obsession.
She's probably up to 500 already. We'll look at it later.
But if you get on Instagram, I will...
Yeah, message her on Instagram.
Message me on Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram. Message, say, hey,
I will do a post on a book a week for you to go read. You can't watch a book unless they made it. Unless they made it into a movie. But I will put like a recommendation.
The only way I read. So
you listen to audiobooks.
That's true. But yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah. We again appreciate it, and we will see you next week.
You'll hear us next week.
There you go. Yeah,
had to think about it for a second.
Yeah, you said we'll hear you. Anyways, we're going to end this now so we can go to bed and get some sleep. So thanks for watching, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. And we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Cool stuff.
You do this, and I do this.